What is going on? Just leaving my campsite this morning. It's about 8:44 in the morning. I am just headed over to go do my morning hike. I am currently in the state of Rhode Island, which is the smallest state in the United States, but it's got some phenomenal views. I'm going to show you some of those today. Oh yeah, and in case you're new here, my name's Garrett. In 2024, I sold everything I own and moved into the back of my Storyteller van and just been living in it and traveling the country ever since then. All right, let's see if we can find a parking spot down here. Here we go. This will do. I am currently in Newport, Rhode Island. Yeah, one cool fact about Newport is it has all these Gilded Age mansions. One of them is called the Breakers, and it was built by the Vanderbilt family back in the 1800s, and they are extravagant. So I used to live here in Newport, so I've already seen all of them. But this morning hike I'm about to go on is called the Cliff Walk, and on one side you get views of the Atlantic Ocean and all these cliffs, and on the other side you get to look at the mansion's backyard. So let's get packed up and get ready to take this hike. Say what you want about fanny packs. I think they're super convenient when I don't want to bring like a backpack and I have quick access to all my stuff. All right, we'll close these curtains so no one can be peeking in here. Grab my shades. You can see my van is almost too big for this parking spot, but it is what it is. That is the Atlantic Ocean. Hey, there's a mansion right there. You can see over there, you got some of the cliffs. Just beautiful. So that is the Breakers Mansion. They called it a summer cottage, built by Cornelius Vanderbilt II. I believe it was completed in 1895. He was a railroad tycoon at the time, I believe. It has 70 rooms, over 5 floors, I think like 30 bathrooms, 30 fireplaces. Very extravagant. They don't allow any filming inside the mansion to be used for like YouTube or whatever, so not gonna visit it today, but I've been there many times when I lived here. Every time I had family come in, that's like the #1 thing you gotta see when you're here, besides like the cliff walk, which is beautiful. Like really, there is so much to see here in Newport on such a small island. I'm gonna try to do it justice and show you the best I can, but we'll see how much we can do today. And I guess you can see why all these ultra wealthy wanted homes here. Beautiful. A lot of these mansions are managed by this historical kind of museum society. I can't remember what it's called, but just to preserve some of these mansions, but a lot of them are privately owned. Interesting walk. All right, it says difficult route starts here. So we started here where we parked, and we have gone past the Breakers, and now we are here. We've got the Rosecliff Mansion, Beechwood, Marble House. I don't know if we're gonna go all the way down, but we'll see what happens. Like the whole way you're just walking next to the ocean with all these cliffs and the waves crashing in, and the guy doing landscaping. Like I'm guessing this wall right here is a privately owned mansion to kind of block everyone from peeping in on them. Another private mansion over here. So up there, that is the Chinese tea house, and it was built to basically supplement this one, which is the Marble House, also both built by the Vanderbilts. A couple of videos ago, I was in Asheville, North Carolina, and they actually built another extravagant mansion over there. That one is actually the largest privately owned mansion in the United States. It's called the Biltmore. I didn't get a chance to check it out when I was there. Maybe next time. Here's a little bit of a closer shot of it. Can't get a good view from down here, but wow. So if you see that point over there, we walked all the way around to where we're at now. And I think there's another tunnel coming up here. You can see the difference between the color of the rock up there and then the color of the rock down there, which all these rocks were probably placed here at one point or another. Wow. It's kind of crazy that you're walking on cliffs and then it just transitions to a nice sidewalk. That's a big one. Guess we won't be doing any picnicking or sunbathing. So the trail does go on, but I'm gonna take this road back because I'm hungry. We didn't start the cliff walk at the beginning, and there's some steps that are pretty neat to see. So I'm gonna go back to the van, grab a snack, and then we're going to check out the, I think it's called 40 Steps. So now we are on Bellevue Street, which is kind of like the main drag of the Gilded Age mansions here in Newport. All the mansions we just saw the backyards from, now we're gonna see the front. So this one's called Rough Point. Looks like it's closed today, but you can just see like the nice gates coming in these places. That's a cool tree. And you got mansions on both sides of the road. You got one over there. And this one's Rock Cliff, also a private mansion. They really like their elaborate gates here. Gardens are also very nice. I like these trees here. I forgot how long this walk was. I've already done 4 miles. I think I still got 1.5 miles before I get back to the van. All right, this one back there is called Rose Cliff. The society that maintains these is the Preservation Society of Newport County. So a right to the breakers, left to Fort Adams. We'll go right, because that's where the van is. So fun fact, after we finish the cliff walk and go see the other side of it, we're gonna go to Fort Adams. And the fun fact is, I used to live there in the state park, which is pretty cool. They had some military housing there. I'll show you once we get over there. So now I am in the area where Salve Regina University is. I think that's how you pronounce it. But seeing as some of the buildings are like mansions, I would assume it would be very expensive to attend here. Tuition is not cheap. This is the fence around the breakers. And that is the breakers. We'll get some food up in me and we'll go check out the 40 Steps and then we'll head over to Fort Adams. Now we're headed to go do the other side of the cliff walk. Now we're at the bottom of the 40 Steps. You got all these flowers right along the walk. Really pretty. So right over there, that is First Beach, also known as Easton's Beach. I don't know if you can see it over there, but definitely got a red tide from the algae bloom over there on the beach. Maybe you can see it better now. Heading back now, done like 7 miles today. Next, we're going to do a scenic drive that kind of goes around Newport. Just get awesome views of the Atlantic Ocean. But it's getting hot. Get that AC kicking because it got warm, and we're gonna go check out the Ocean Drive. All right, here we go. If I can get out of this tiny parking lot that's not meant for a big van. It's gonna be like a 20-point turn. Got it. So I'm on Bellevue Drive, which is the same one we walked down a little bit earlier. Kind of a bumpy road. And here is where we're going to be starting Ocean Drive. This is Brenton Point State Park. You can see a couple of kites flying over there. So they have a kite festival here where there are hundreds of kites in the sky. And it is really cool to see. I was kind of hoping there'd be more out today. So we're about to be coming into Fort Adams. I lived inside this state park for 3 years. Probably the best assignment, location-wise, that I had while I was in the Air Force. All right, here we go. Fort Adams State Park. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Newport is also known as the sailing capital of the world. And before I show you the fort, I'm gonna park over here by this boat ramp because I have a paddleboard in here that I don't think I've ever taken out on this channel because I started the channel in the winter. So I think I'm gonna take the paddleboard out. Before we get started on our paddleboarding adventure, I need to make a sandwich real fast. One of you guys commented that I should try mayo on one side, so I'm gonna try that today. Got some mayo and mustard. I like it. Whoever commented that, thank you. This is legit. We'll see if we can't get this paddleboard out. Now we wait. It's finished pumping up, ready to go. All right. All right, let's see if I can get up on this thing. It's been about a year. Like riding a bike. That's a nice mansion right there. We got Fort Adams over here on my left and a bunch of boats. So right here is Sail Newport, which is a sailing school here on Fort Adams. It's pretty choppy out here today, so there won't be much standing and paddleboarding. We'll mostly be sitting. It's really nice out here on the water, honestly. And there's a lot of wind, so I'm being pushed over here to the bank. It's a little bit of a workout. I don't think it helps. This is the first time I've done this in like almost a year. And then I walked like 7 or 8 miles this morning. My legs are pretty shot, I think. But if I can get over there, I might get a little bit more protection from the wind. I think the water's a little calmer, it's protected. I can just relax a little bit. But it's a long way over there. And may be able to actually paddleboard some more because it's way too choppy and windy out here. Check out some of these mansions from the water. Then way over there, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up a little further. That's the Pell Bridge. And all those sailboats as far back as you can see. It is truly beautiful out here. Now that I'm closer to the shoreline over here, still wind, and I'm being blown back toward the van, which is cool because I won't have to do any work on the way back. I'll just ride it all the way back in, so that'll be kind of nice. Got myself tied off here on the buoy. Now I'm just relaxing. Like, it is the perfect temperature outside. I want to say it's probably like 68, 69 degrees. Nice little breeze coming through, sun beating down. Loving this out here. Now I just gotta try not to fall asleep out here. Snack time. This is ideal. I think it's time to untether myself from this buoy and start heading back. And really, I just have to let the water do its thing because it's blowing me right back to my van. Ooh, got a little cave right there. Pretty cool in here. Bump. Time to get out of my cave. We're gonna go over this beach real fast, see if we can find anything cool that washed up. I think my fin's about to hit the bottom here. Water's super clear. Let's go explore this beach, shall we? Should be good. Found this huge piece of sea glass. Still kind of looks like glass though. All right, time to head back. All right, we'll let that dry for a minute. Gotta let the air out. This thing does a good job of inflating and deflating. I was just out there relaxing today. No fishing.
Bones yesterday. The bonito here, we got a bunch yesterday. He got a couple more this morning, 3 more this morning.
Oh, nice. Good luck. All right, I'm just gonna leave the van here and take a little walk around this state park. Just take you around this little 2-mile loop. That is Sail Newport. And the really cool thing is, I used to live here. I used to do this walk around the fort probably just about every day. I mean, why wouldn't you? And you got all this to look at. So this walk is better known as the Fort Adams Bay Walk. So over there is the actual fort. So this huge sailboat here is the Oliver Hazard Perry, and it's the largest civilian sailing vessel in the United States. Sorry, meant the largest training vessel in the United States. And over there, that is the Claiborne Pell Bridge, which spans, I think, like 2 miles. I think it's like 400 feet tall. When I used to live here, I used to watch big ships go underneath it. Here is the side of Fort Adams. This fort is the largest coastal fortification ever built, I think. Protected this Narragansett Bay over here through like 3 or 4 wars or something like that. Pretty cool. It just keeps on going. There's also miles of tunnel underground that they dug so that way they could listen underground for people trying to dig in under the fort. And you can actually do a tour of some of them. A lot of them are flooded. They don't know for sure how many miles of tunnel there is. You can actually go in and see some of them. And inside is closed, but we can take a peek through this gate. Pretty neat. Now we're coming up close to where I used to live. So this was our community center, and back there is where I lived. Right there in the middle of the bay is just a house on a rock. Yeah, I mean, scenery wise, this was definitely the best place I've ever lived. And weather wise in the summer, because it stays a lot cooler than on the mainland. But the winters were brutal. This town shuts down in the winter. And we got a rabbit. Last stop on our tour is the Eisenhower House. This was actually the President Dwight Eisenhower's summer home. Pretty cool. So these days, the Eisenhower House just serves as kind of a venue for these elegant events, lots of weddings, like corporate retreats. Every time I used to see people out here, they're all dressed very nicely, very fancy. I made a poor walking shoe choice of flip-flops. Almost back to the van. Home sweet home. Smells musty in here. It's about 5 o'clock. Just gonna hang out here for a little bit, relax, and then I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do for dinner. I'm getting hungry. The cooler in the back came unplugged and all my meat went bad in it. That was the musty smell I was smelling. It's completely my fault because I was messing around with the cushions back there, and the way I ran the wire, not smart. I'll be fixing that. Since I don't have dinner, I'm gonna have to go into town and get something to eat. Off we go. Here we are coming up on Kings Park in Newport. Overlooks the Pell Bridge over there. Ooh, here we go. Looks like a camp spot for tonight, right here. Beautiful. I parked really close there. Only have about a mile walk into town to grab some chicken. coming up on Thames Street, which is going to be very busy.
Yeah, I'm ready to order. So I'm gonna do your curly fries and your mac and cheese. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you.
It's a beautiful sunset. Time's gone. Time to go back to the van. You can see I'm parked on a pretty busy street, and it's very much at an angle, so I'm probably gonna have to sleep in my other bed tonight. Squeeze. Another reason I park close to the edge is because that puts me further from the street. We walked a lot today. I think I walked like 11 miles. I am pretty tired, but it's just gonna be a movie night tonight. Maybe I'll just try to sleep in this one, and if it's too bad, I'll make that one. Oh. Headed to bed and see y'all in the morning. All right, I tried, I couldn't do it. The van is too much at a slant. I need to set up my bed back here. Now I'm going to bed and see y'all in the morning. Oh. Good morning. Slept pretty good here on the side of the road here in Newport. Started raining this morning though, just like a light drizzle. It's already stopped. Let's see what it looks like outside. Yep, super overcast today. Since I'm just parked on the side of this road here, I'm gonna move my van to another spot and then make my coffee after I put this bed back up and move all this stuff back over. Off we go. We're almost to the spot where I'm gonna make some coffee. It's very overcast, so not a lot of views this morning, but at least I'm not sitting right off the main road there. A little muddy down there, but this spot will do. Much better. Yeah, this is a much better spot to have my morning coffee because you get views like this. This week marks my 1-year anniversary of living in the van. And I would say the best part so far is just the freedom of it, of being able to pick up and go wherever you want to go, whenever you want to go there. Another thing I think I've learned, at least for me anyway, is that less is more. So just living with less stuff equals less stress. I've seen a few comments on some of the videos of people that are thinking about starting van life. And I will say that if it is something you're considering, don't overthink it. Like, you can overthink it forever and you'll never do it. It's one of those things that I don't think you'll ever be fully ready. It's one of those decisions that you just have to kind of jump into and then figure it out as you go. So here's to year 2 and probably many years after that, but we'll see how everything goes. Different subject. Thanks to all of you that have subscribed and been watching my videos. My last video did pretty well and got a lot of recommendations in the comments for things to see in upstate New York and New England. So definitely keep those recommendations coming in. I really appreciate those. I'm going to go to a few of them that you guys have recommended. So thank you so much for all your support and your recommendations. I really appreciate it. I think I'm going to call it a wrap for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you got this far in the video, if you wouldn't mind giving it a like and maybe subscribing for more content like this. I'm going to sign off for now. See y'all next week.